Alex Thompson had served 20 years on the force, rising to police chief in the bustling city of Millbrook Heights. But after his wife's sudden death from cancer 2 years ago, he craved stability for his teenage daughter, Emily. They relocated to the serene suburb of Oakwood Meadows, a picture-perfect neighborhood of manicured lawns and cookie-cutter homes where the biggest crimes were usually kids skateboarding on sidewalks. Alex kept his profession under wraps, letting neighbors believe he worked in construction to avoid the spotlight. He just wanted a quiet life, focusing on rebuilding their family in this peaceful enclave. Oakwood Meadows seemed idyllic at first: wide streets, friendly waves from porches, and the occasional block party. But beneath the surface lurked a darker undercurrent, enforced by the iron-fisted HOA president, Karen Blackwell. A sharp-tongued real estate agent in her 50s, Karen ruled with tyrannical zeal, backed by her sleazy husband, Tom, and their pseudo-security guard, Derek Simmons, a burly ex-con who patrolled in a golf cart like he owned the place. Karen's petty rules were legendary. No holiday lights after January 1st, grass couldn't exceed 3 inches, and God forbid your mailbox leaned a fraction. She targeted anyone who didn't fit her vision of community perfection, especially newcomers or those from diverse backgrounds, whispering slurs and spreading rumors to drive them out. Trouble started small. One afternoon, Alex returned from a shift to find a bright pink citation taped to his garage door, a $79 fine for a patched crack in his driveway that allegedly disrupted the neighborhood's visual harmony. He grumbled, but paid it, not wanting to rock the boat in their new home. Emily was finally settling in at school, making friends after the upheaval of losing her mom. But Karen wasn't done. A week later, another fine arrived, this time $150 for leaving garbage cans out 30 minutes past pickup time. The note branded him a repeat offender and threatened enhanced enforcement measures. Alex's blood boiled, but he swallowed his pride and paid again, chalking it up to overzealous bureaucracy. Things escalated one crisp morning at 7 a.m. when Karen and Derek showed up unannounced, measuring tape in hand, scrutinizing Alex's property like hawks. They fined him $300 for his mailbox being 2 inches too close to the street, a violation of some obscure rule. Alex confronted them, demanding to see the official HOA guidelines. Karen's face flushed, and Derek shifted nervously, mumbling excuses. Alex noticed their unease. Something felt off. He started asking questions around the neighborhood, but most residents clammed up, fearing Karen's wrath. The harassment intensified. Anonymous complaints flooded in. A bogus report to the city water department claiming Alex had an illegal sprinkler system wasting resources during a drought. Whispers spread like wildfire. Neighbors eyed him suspiciously, convinced he was running drugs or a gambling ring because of the unmarked cars that occasionally parked outside, actually fellow officers dropping by. The rumors hit Emily hard. At school, kids stared and gossiped, calling her dad a shady thug. One girl even asked if he was in the mob. Emily came home in tears, begging Alex to move. He hugged her tight, promising to fix it. Determined, Alex attended his first HOA meeting, a tense gathering in the community center where Karen presided like a queen. There, he uncovered the hypocrisy. Tom, Karen's husband, owed over $12,000 in back fines for his own violations, yet faced no consequences. Selective enforcement was rampant. Karen favored her white, affluent cronies while hammering minorities and single parents. Digging deeper through public records, Alex found a pattern of discrimination. Complaints disproportionately targeted Black, Hispanic, and low-income families. 6 properties had been forced into below-market sales after relentless harassment, with Karen conveniently brokering the deals and pocketing fat commissions. It reeked of a racket, preying on the vulnerable to flip homes for profit. Karen smelled blood and doubled down. She slapped a special assessment of $500 per household for security upgrades, blaming it on Alex's mysterious profession that supposedly attracted danger. Whispers turned to outright accusations. Karen implied he was a criminal infiltrator, stirring racial tensions in the once cohesive suburb. Alex signed the assessment form, but only to gather evidence, his cop instincts kicking in. Then came the stalking. Derek lurked outside their home, snapping photos of the backyard and even following Emily to school in his golf cart. Alex's heart raced when Emily texted him in panic during lunch. He confronted Derek in the street, recording the encounter on his phone as the fake guard stammered denials. The boldness peaked when Tom approached Alex in his driveway one evening, smirking like a used car salesman. "Look, buddy, we can make all this go away for $2,000 cash. Karen's just protecting the community profile, keeping out the wrong element." Tom's words dripped with prejudice, confessing they targeted families who didn't blend in, especially those with urban vibes. Alex kept his cool, secretly recording every damning word on his hidden device. That night, poring over documents, he made a bombshell discovery. The HOA had been legally dissolved 3 years ago for unpaid state fees. Karen had been fraudulently collecting fines and assessments ever since, raking in over $37,000 from terrified residents. It was outright embezzlement, laced with extortion and civil rights abuses. Alex didn't go solo. He looped in his trusted colleague, Detective Laura Jenkins, and District Attorney Amanda Lee, building an airtight case. They uncovered a web of fraud, forged documents, conspiracy with Derek, who wasn't licensed as security, and a trail of discriminatory emails where Karen ranted about preserving the neighborhood's purity. Neighbors started coming forward. Mrs. Harlow, an elderly widow, provided years of documented abuse, including fines that forced her to sell her late husband's classic car. Emily's friends shared blurry photos of Derek's creepy surveillance, adding stalking charges to the mix. The plan crystallized, a public takedown at an emergency HOA meeting. Karen called to crush Alex once and for all. She ramped up the pressure beforehand, going door to door with smears, claiming Alex was a threat to children's safety and demanding a $3,000 assessment for legal action against him. Surveillance intensified, cameras pointed at his house, anonymous notes in his mailbox warning him to leave or else. The neighborhood buzzed with division. Some sided with Karen out of fear or shared bigotry, while others whispered support for Alex, tired of the bullying. The meeting erupted in the packed community hall, tension thick as fog. Karen stood at the podium, projecting slides of evidence, grainy photos of Alex's suspicious visitors, twisted into proof of criminal activity. She demanded an $8,000 fine or forced sale of his home, whipping the crowd into a frenzy. Murmurs of agreement mixed with uneasy shifts. Racial undertones hung heavy, with slurs muttered under breaths. Alex rose calmly, his voice steady. "Before we vote, let's clarify something. Is this HOA even legal?" Gasps echoed as he revealed the dissolution papers, flashing his police chief badge like a thunderbolt. "You've been scamming us for years, Karen. Fraud, extortion, discrimination, it's over." Chaos exploded. Plainclothes officers surged forward with warrants, cuffing a shrieking Karen as she hurled insults, calling Alex a thug in uniform. Derek bolted but was tackled near the door, his fake badge clattering to the floor. Recordings played over speakers. Tom's extortion attempt, Karen's bigoted email exposing the rot to a stunned audience. Fights nearly broke out. Some residents defended Karen, yelling about outsiders ruining the suburb, while others cheered, finally free from her grip. In the aftermath, the truth unraveled. Oakwood Meadows. Investigators recovered $47,000 in fraudulent funds, distributing it to 28 victims who'd been bled dry. Media swarmed, painting Alex as a hero who dismantled a corrupt empire from within. But controversy rage. Talk shows debated HOA overreach, racial profiling in suburbs, and whether Alex's undercover tactics were ethical. Karen faced trial, sentenced to 3 years in prison plus full restitution. Her real estate license revoked amid protests from her supporters who claimed she was just maintaining standards. Derek got probation and restraining orders, slinking away in disgrace. The community healed under a new, legitimate HOA led by Mrs. Harlow, focusing on genuine improvements like playgrounds and inclusivity programs. Recovered funds seeded a scholarship foundation for kids like Emily, honoring victims of discrimination. Alex launched a statewide initiative to prevent HOA fraud, testifying before lawmakers about the hidden dangers in America's suburbs. Oakwood Meadows transformed, festivals bloomed on once forbidden lawns, community gardens flourished, and residents savored newfound freedom. Alex and Emily hosted barbecues, forging real bonds amid the scars. Yet the story sparked a national firestorm, inspiring exposés on similar scams and igniting debates over power, prejudice, and who truly belongs in the American dream. Neighbors shared hushed tales of past abuses, vowing to check their own HOAs, turning one man's fight into a rallying cry against tyranny in the heartland.